thank you for coming to your second Chinese class. So I heard yesterday I talked to Stacy and she said you talked about the Manhattan subway or New York subway yesterday. All right, so I'm not going to ask you just yet what you learned yesterday, but we can kind of review them at the end. All right, so today we're going to move to a different city, but we're going to kind of continue as the theme of taking the subway, and we're going to go to Beijing. All right, so first let's just see. Oh wait, it's not the keyboard. Okay, first let's see what you know about Beijing. And I put some pictures there just to give you some ideas, like some famous places people usually know about. But feel free to share any other things that you know about Beijing.
I know Great Wall for sure. I think I've seen that red big palace or something in the picture a lot.
Do you know what it is called?
No.
So do you know what it is called? No. What about other things? Do you recognize any other things?
I remember the Burness Stadium for Beijing Olympics.
Yeah, yeah, that's the main venue.
Yeah.
Beijing Olympics. Yeah, and I don't actually know what that is, but I think that's kind of like that because there's a huge canal running all the way from Beijing to a southern province, and that was built like hundreds of years ago for transporting wood, I think from the north to the south, so that's like a man-made canal. Yeah, and also for the emperor to go down to the southern provinces, yeah, in the old time. I think that's what it is. Yeah, and this on the corner, and this. So these two are actually the same place, and that's the Forbidden City.
Forbidden City?
Yeah, that's where, well, it's called the Forbidden City. It's because it's where the emperor used to live.
Oh, okay.
That's his palace. It's right in the middle of Beijing. Yeah, it's almost like the palace in the center of Seoul. I've been there. It looks very, very similar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you have a main gate, and I remember in Seoul we saw the kind of a ceremony at the palace,
yes.
right? Like they're like changing shifts or something. Like
With traditional.
yeah. So it's the same kind of palace. It's for the emperor. Yeah. And this. And I put a kind of an abstract version of that. So that's kind of the symbol of Beijing. So usually you see that this kind of three triangular shapes, and usually they're in very abstract shapes. But that's kind of the symbol of Beijing. You will see that like everywhere, you know, and like logos and different businesses. If they're based in Beijing, they usually have that symbol, and that's called the Temple of Heaven.
Temple of Heaven.
Yeah.
But that doesn't represent Shanghai.
No, so this is a temple in southern Beijing, but still inside the city. That's where the emperor used to go to pray for a good year for the farmers. So for rain, for like enough rain for the farmers. So that's where the emperor used to go to pray to the god up there, heaven. So it's called the Temple of Heaven. We also have the Temple of Earth in the north. So it's kind of symmetrical. Yeah, and that's for Beijing Olympics as well. They're right next to each other actually. These are that's the venue for all the water sports. It's called the Water Cube. Yeah. And in the middle, this is a very typical kind of traditional Beijing alley. It's like a narrow alley. We just call them hutong. I don't know. I think if you ever travel to Beijing, you will hear that a lot. Yeah, those are called hutong, but they just mean like very narrow back alleys. I heard that word might have been Mongolian or Manchu. It's not like original Chinese Mandarin. Yeah, I think it was kind of a loan word from either Mongol or some kind of other regions. Yeah, when the emperor was from that kind of origin. Yeah. So when I was little, I used to live right next to Temple of Heaven. So we lived in a hutong. Me, my parents, my grandmother, my dad's mom. So I remember when I was a kid, we used to go there a lot. It used to be free. So I dug up this old picture of me and my grandmother. And for some reason, when I was a kid, I had a lot of traditional Korean dresses. I don't know why. My grandmother got me a lot of these. These were like Korean dresses with like a little jacket and a big. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, that was my grandmother. And you can see that's the Temple of Heaven.
Yes.
Yeah, we used to go there a lot. Yeah, so these are all, oh, and this is a very odd building in Beijing. It's very new. It's the new China Central Television. So that's their office building. But it's a French architect that did this crazy design. And we just call it the big boxer, like shorts. Because when you look at it from far, it looks like a pair of shorts. It's very strange. Yeah, it's a very strange looking building. Yeah, now it kind of has become a thing in Beijing. Yes. So, if you ever want to go visit Beijing, you probably need to take the Beijing subways to get to places. So I have a version for you to look at. Yeah, you can look at this because we will work on this, and we have I have a task for you, and you need to use this map. But for now, I'm going to show you a video about the Beijing subway system. Just when you were listening to it, I have two questions for you to think about, because yesterday you talked about New York subway system. So the first question, how is it similar or different from the New York system? We've all experienced the New York subway system, so you can do some kind of comparison there. And then I'm just curious because I didn't take the subway when I was in Seoul. We drove there from Busan. So I'm just curious, what about the subway system in Seoul?
Okay.
Yeah, is it similar or is it different? Okay, so let's watch this thing.
Now, to say that I love the Beijing subway, I think we'll be taking it a little bit far. But I've racked my brains and the internet to bring you all the information you need today to get the most out of your ride on what is one of the most amazing systems in the world, the Beijing subway. So to get ourselves into the thick of it and see what it's like, we first need to get ourselves a ticket. Have a look at the map either on an app or online or in the station. Look at where you're going to and the stations that you're going to be changing at. This is the Forbidden City, and then you'll see there's two main loops here, both of them blue, and they kind of form the main ring road of traffic. And then this is the oldest line one across here. You can buy a transport card like this, which is 40 quid deposit, and you can buy them in the stations too. If you're really tech savvy, you can use your phone, as long as it's AFC enabled, and we'll put the information for that app, the Beijing Transport app, in the link below. Today, we're going to buy what most people will probably buy on their first trip to Beijing, which is a single-use ticket. These ticket machines are really, really easy to use. They come in English, they take cash, and they're also the same machine that you would use to charge your car, just so you know. First thing you're probably going to want to do is press the English button down here. Now we know that we're going today on line 1, and the station we're looking to go to is Guomao. So you press that one. And just like that, going to make sure the corners are all flat, otherwise the money will get rejected. Oh. There we go, I've got my ticket. Perfect. 谢谢，谢谢。好， Many stations, like this one, are transfer stations, which means they have 2 or more lines. So you need to know the number, and also the last station on the line is how the direction is marked. Look for either your destination or the station that you're going to be transferring at. And a little tip, if you're new to China or you find the names hard to remember, just take a photo of the station that you want to go to. So what's so cool about the Beijing subway? Well, by 2021, it's going to be 50 years old. There's going to be 350 stations, 6,000 kilometers of track, delivering 18.5 million people to their workplaces, homes, and tourist destinations every single day. That's pretty cool. Okay, lining up the train, make sure you stay to the left or the right of the doors that's marked on the floor. Keep yourself close and keep your eyes up. There might be people getting off the train. Come on, let's go. Okay. I normally head for the middle because it's the place where you're not going to get jostled by people as they get on and get off. And it's also where you've got a better chance of getting a seat. But if you're going like 1 stop, 2 stops, sometimes it's better to stay just inside the door in this area here, where you can keep close to the door, but you're not in a line of human traffic where people are walking. If you want to keep an eye on where you're going to get off next, you can listen to the announcements. They're in Chinese and in English, so you can see up here, it's got that marking. Which side the doors will open on, there's a little light that will illuminate. Alright? Right, so keep your stuff close, and then go down the middle. Ready? If you're leaving the station or you're changing line, either way, it's always marked on the platform, so check first before you head on up the stairs or the elevator. So like most countries in the world, you tend to keep to the right on the subway, unless you're from, say, Japan, New Zealand, or the UK, which, bear in mind, it's the opposite from what you would normally do at home. It gets busier and busier as it gets close to working time, but with the subways in China, many of the same rules hold true. Much like anywhere in the world, China's got a very similar subway culture. With some exceptions, it gets so busy that it's just not possible to have one-way moving at all times, in which case, we just take it easy. And that caps our peak flow insight into one of the world's busiest, most vast, but also safest, cleanest, and most reliable transport systems in the world. That's the Beijing subway. Remember, go with the flow, enjoy yourself, and treat it as a great insight into Chinese culture. I'm David, and I'm in China.
Hey, I quite like this video.
Yeah, that looks so cool.
Yeah,
It's very informative.
Right? It's actually, I think it would be a really good resource for people traveling there. It tells you how to do these things. Right?
Especially people from like States or somewhere in Europe,
Let's just go back to the
because they don't have any idea of getting subway.
Yeah.
The video will definitely help those people.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think? Compared to New York subway?
Of course, much better.
I just feel like it's so much cleaner.
Yeah, cleaner, yeah.
Safer.
Yeah, because those gates are really...
The screen door.
Yeah, do you have them in Korea, right?
I was so surprised that the Beijing system, the map itself, is very similar to Seoul.
Oh, really?
And also the facilities like screen door and the lights when the door opens, and then the sign in the subway car, should I say?
So you in each car?
That's very similar to Seoul subway.
Yeah. I just feel when I'm taking subway here, I just can't imagine how that's possible in Beijing with so many people. Somebody's gonna fall off the platform eventually.
Oh yes.
Right? It just doesn't feel safe and drop you things there. Yeah. I guess the newer the system is, the better. I think New York is very old.
Yeah.
It's an old system. Yeah. Does the subway system get this busy in Seoul? Right, Seoul?
Very busy.
Rush hours, especially.
Mm. Yeah, I know in Japan it gets very busy. I've
Oh,
seen
yeah.
them pushing
It's
people.
pushing-
Right?
There's a job.
Yeah, exactly. All right, great. So, let's just skip the. Yeah. So now I would like to kind of introduce you to this task that we're going to do today. But first of all, we have a few steps. Number one, we need to first locate the airport on the map. So feel free to circle out or
Anywhere?
the airport. So now let's find
Oh.
the airport. 机场, the airport on the on the map. So yeah, where's the airport? Where's 机场 on the map? I think that's pretty easy. Because I suppose when you visit Beijing, that's where you will land, right? So when I go home, that's where I will land as well. So let's first find 机场, the airport right there, right? And the funny thing is, there's two terminals,
Yeah.
and we just call them TR, T3.
Terminal T.
Yeah, so the T for terminal, and then, so there's Terminal 2, Terminal 3.
Where's Terminal 1?
Terminal 1 is kind of abandoned now. There was a Terminal 1 there, but now it was only used for, I think, government planes or something. It used to be a public terminal. Right now, nobody flies out Terminal 1. Yeah, it was very small as well. Yeah, T3, that Terminal 3 is bigger than Terminal 1 and Terminal 2, TETR, put together. It's bigger than those two put together. Yeah, T3 itself looks almost like an airport. Yeah, it's very new. It was, I think, built very specifically for the Beijing Olympics. Yeah, to handle all the traffic. All right, so now we know 机场, the 机场 is right here. And then we have two terminals, TR, T3. And then, let's see, how many lines can you see, like in the Beijing subway system? So how many 线, how many lines, how many 线, yeah, are there? Well, there's an easy, so there's an easy way here to count, right? Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16,
15, 16,
17. Yes, so 17 lines. 17条线, 17 lines.
Question.
Yes.
We don't have line 3.
Maybe it's under construction. Does it say? Oh, well, it's under construction or it's planned, but not constructed yet.
Oh.
Because there was a much bigger plan than this. On the plan, there's more lines. So if you Google, this is the ready kind of map. This is the map you get from the official website. But if you Google like the Beijing subway system 2025 plan, you see way more lines. They're just not, yeah.
We're missing line 3 and 11, 12.
So there's no 三线, there's no 三线. There's no line 3, you're saying? So there's no 三线, and which one else?
11, 12.
没有11线, 12线. So 三线, 11线, 12线 are not there yet. Yeah, but they are part of the plan for sure. Yeah. Otherwise, there's no point skipping the number. Yeah. So we have 17 lines, right? That's what we counted. So 17条线. Currently on the Beijing subway system, Beijing 地铁, Beijing subway. All right, so this is the Beijing 地铁 system, and we have 17 条 subway lines, 17条线, 地铁线. exactly. And then we just found the 机场 here.
Yeah.
机场 and then there's 2 terminals, T2 和 T3. Very nice. All right, what about which 地铁线 do you think the airport is on? So 机场在 which one? Which
Airport Express.
地铁线?
Airport Express.
Yeah, so 机场 is on 机场线.
机场线.机场线, yeah.
Right, so 机场 is on the airport line.
Yeah.
So 机场线. All right. So that's our point of departure. All right. So next I'm going to show you first. Oh, there. Yeah. So we have that 机场线 right there, the airport express. And that next I'm going to show you where my home is in Beijing.
Yeah.
All right. So Rainie's home, Rainie 的家 is right here. So this is where my parents still live right now. If I go home, I'll go there as well. So that's Rainie 的家. And then, which 地铁线 do you think Rainie's home is on? Which 地铁线?
and 时间.
Yeah, so it's on line 4, right? So it's on 四线, and then it's also on 十号线. Exactly. So that's a transfer station, which makes it very easy for me to go home because there's 2 lines going into, right? Yeah. So let's think if now I'm going home, I wish. If now I'm gonna go home, and I will arrive at 机场. All right, and then how do I go home? How do I go back home from 机场?
Take
你到机场
哦，
机场线.
我搭机场线.
Yeah.
Yeah, first, yeah, that's very nice. So 我搭机场线去哪儿? To where? Where do I get off?
转实线.
转实线. Oh, nice, very nice. So at which station, at which 地铁站 do I change?
三元回澳.
I have to look at your map, but mine is very small. Right? 三元桥. Yeah. 三元桥. So 我搭机场线到三元桥. Is that right? That's what you told me, right? So okay, so 搭机场线到三元桥，然后转实线. Do I go this way or do I go this way? Do I go down?
Down.
So I go down from 三元桥, and then where do I get off? Is it too small?
Jiaomen West.
Jiaomen West. Yeah, Jiaomen Xi. Yeah, that's where my parents live. Yeah. So we got 2 地铁站, 2 stations here, right? So that's an important one. 三元桥地铁站. And then at 三元桥地铁站我转实线 and then get off at Jiaomen West 地铁站. That's not how I usually go home because my parents will go pick me up. But if they decide to abandon me, I'll have to take this up. It's not the only way though. That's probably the easiest way. Is there another way that I can go home by the subway?
你的机场线.
机场线, where it is?
Get off. No transfer.
转 which 地铁线? 二线. Very nice. I noticed that station doesn't have a name here. I don't know why. I think that was a mistake. Yeah, that's a very important transfer station. There's like 3 lines going out. I think that's called 东直门. I think they just forgot to put the name. Yeah, so 我搭机场线到东直门, that's what it's called. And then 转
线.
Is that right, Sue?
Yeah, 二线.
二线, so I 转二线, and then
Then
你
yeah, so I go down, and then where do I get off?
宣武门.
Very nice, 宣武门地铁站.
地铁站.
Then
转四. No, that's not
yeah,
四线.
四线. Is that right?
Yeah. 四线.
That one going down.
Oh, yeah. 四线.
四线. Very nice. So 我搭机场线到东直门. Well, it doesn't have a name here. 地铁站, 东直门地铁站. And then I'll 转二线. Is that what you said? To 宣武门地铁站. And then 四线. To go home. But that sounds a lot more work than our first route. Right? Very nice. Okay, so what I would like you to do now is to imagine that you're going to go visit Beijing. And we kind of talked about these places people usually go visit, but you can't go to the Great Wall because it's outside the city. You can take the subway there. Yeah, but the other places, first I would like you to kind of decide which place the two of you would like to go visit together. And then you probably need your phone to check where that place is or which the closest